All right, hey guys, today I want to talk about things to consider when you're going to be doing an e-motorcycle conversion, something like this. If you've got a motorcycle and you want to convert it, give you some of my tips and some of my things that I wish I would have done before. Hopefully it'll save you some time. Number one is you want to measure. You want to get the frame size so you can find what size battery is going to fit in there. Motor, if you're going to be able to put a mid-drive on, I would recommend putting in a mid-drive because then you could dial in your gear ratio. You could swap out your rear sprocket or your front sprocket and really get the performance you want, whether you want top speed or low end or both. With a hub motor, you can't really do that. Whatever it's locked in that's what it's locked in at. So you'll have to see if you have the frame size to even do that. Otherwise, if you do go hub motor, you could put a giant battery in there. So there is trade-offs for that, but definitely get a blueprint of, all right, where is everything going to go? Get a layout. Where's your controller going to go? Other than that, it was fairly simple. Once I figured out how to mount the motor, which I had my friend Sean custom make that mounting plate, but obviously you guys probably aren't going to have access to something like that, most of you guys, so you're probably just going to have to use the existing motor mounts. So just keep that in mind, you may have to make some sort of plate to make the existing motor mounts work. So that may be the only thing that you're gonna have to deal with. The other thing that you're gonna have to worry about is getting the existing lights to work. This was an old bike. This is a 1974, I think, and everything was 6-volt. So I couldn't reuse the old lights or anything like that. So I had to run new lights in, which is fine because these are upgraded, updated, better lights. And these ones I actually got, I spent so much time trying to figure out, okay, relays, blinkers, how am I gonna make it flash? And I was like, okay, I had the schematics, I was watching videos, I was doing so much stuff, wasted tons of time. I found these on Amazon. They had the built-in blinker into them. These were like 12 bucks for a set. So I just got 2 of them. They were great. So don't waste your time with that, just get the built-in blinker. And then finding like the lights and stuff, that wasn't that big of a deal. It actually was pretty simple. All you need to do is get a DC to DC down converter, which I got one right here. Just takes 72 volts, which is what this is, converts it into a 12 volt. I put a couple breaker bus bars in here, so I could run everything off of these. I just plug it in off of the inverter, and then all of these are 12 volt positive. And I have another bus bar on this side that's all 12 volt negative, so I could run any auxiliary 12 volt system I want. I could run it. It's really easy. I don't have to be like splicing things here and there. I just, okay, I want to add something, no big deal, put it in there. I added a kill switch. This is a massive kill switch. These run about like 40 or 50 bucks because they need to be able to handle high amperage. You want to make sure that you get something that could not just burn out, and something that can handle this. So this is like I think like a 15,000 watt. It's like 300 amps up to 200 volts or something like that. So this thing, I put this in just as a emergency kill switch. I was having issues with this thing with the throttle, wanted to just take off on itself. So I wanted to make sure I have this. There's no battery switch on this, on-off switch. So I built one in. And there's also a little bit redundancy here. There's an ignition there. The other thing that I want to touch on is the actual motorcycle donor itself. This one was a great motorcycle. The previous owner it was in their family forever, but the motor was not working. The points were bad on it, and he's like, I don't want to mess with it. So I got this for like $400 or $500. I ended up selling the motor for like 150 bucks. So this thing all in was like 300 bucks. And everything was perfect. The seat was like brand new, tires were brand new. I mean, I really lucked out on this bike, but you could find stuff like this where the motor's bad. 300 bucks, and I put in, this is maybe $1,300 worth of this. So for 1,600 bucks, I got a motorcycle that'll, go 60 miles an hour and do probably, depending how I'm riding it, between 20 and 40 mile range. But this is capable of fast charging. So you want to spec out. If you need a giant range, you probably are going to have to go with a hub motor because you won't be able to fit the motor in here as well. And then for the lights, I just went with these are Leorx brand. You can get these on Amazon too. They're like 12 bucks a piece, and they have a wide voltage input range, anywhere from 12 to 80 volts. So it's just plug and play. And I have it set so as soon as I turn on this, as soon as that goes on, these go on. So they're like daytime running lights. They're super bright. I don't like to mess around and have people not be able to see me. So I have 2 of those lights. I might even put more on and use my turn signal switch, which, you know, this also is like 20 bucks on Amazon. You get all this stuff on Amazon. It's actually just getting it fitted. You just got to be patient with it just to make sure, hey, is the chain line good? Is the chain tight? Dialing in the controller takes 5 minutes. Just getting everything like kind of snugged up. I'm not done with this. Obviously, you can see I still got to do this. I still got to wire in the horn. I don't have the horn wired in just yet. I might go with a digital gauge, but I kind of like this. I kind of like keeping the old aesthetics. But other than that, yeah, everything works, and this bike is so much fun to ride. And just want to make sure that you get a good, safe motorcycle to start with, because, you know, if you're going 60 miles an hour, you need a brake. Make sure that the bike is sound first. Hopefully it's got a bad motor. Yeah, I got to wire in the front brake cutoff. Right now, only the rear brake cutoff. You know, you hit the brake and this is your rear brake light switch. So I just spliced that in to my rear tail light. So this one works. Now I just need to splice in this one into that wiring relay. So not a big deal. It's really not that hard. Don't overthink it. Unless you're clueless with wiring, then you might want to overthink it a little bit. If you guys have any other detailed questions, if you're building a motorcycle and you're stuck on this, I do offer consultations. Go to johnnynerdout.com, schedule a consultation. If you're just stuck, or if you're thinking about building something like this and you're worried about it, talk to me. It's not that difficult, and we could, I mean, you can make it look a lot nicer than this. This is a little bit of a Franken bike, obviously, but it's functional and I love it. It looks like a Mad Max bike. I might spray paint this to make it look a little bit nicer. But anyways, hopefully you guys found this helpful, and see you later.